Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, now let's get into the show.
Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters Business, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to Apply. All right, so today I have Michael Sweeney on the line. He's a partner and CFO over at WolfPoint Group. Michael, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Thanks for having me.
All right, so Michael, excited about today's topic. So we will talk about how products get onto retail shelves in the United States. A lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives out there listening, and some may know because they have a couple products maybe on shelves in the U.S., and maybe others have been online, and they like to get some products into the brick and mortar. So great topic to have you on for, and maybe just for context. Just to get us started, tell us a little bit more about what you're doing over at WolfPoint Group, please.
Certainly, thank you. WolfPoint Group it's called a couple different things within a couple different categories of business. We're called a broker within the food and grocery and drug and health and beauty industries. We're called a manufacturer's rep within consumer electronics, within housewares and things like that. Essentially what we are is a third-party outsourced sales and marketing firm. We're here in Minneapolis, in the land of big retail with Best Buy and Target and UNFI distribution, things like that. We find new products out in the world anywhere we can, and we work to get those products in front of buyers on behalf of each of our manufacturing clients to get those products onto a shelf or online for sale.
Awesome. What's a typical good fit in terms of type of client to work with WolfPoint Group? So is there specific niches, or is it or size of companies that qualify? I mean, give us a feel for that, because definitely at the end of this, I'll give you an opportunity to leave your website and that kind of stuff, contact, so if people want to follow up. I just want to make sure that the right types of individuals are doing that.
Certainly. We work with a very diverse sizing of customers. It's all over the board, from people that have a new idea on a napkin and they need to find manufacturing partners and help with packaging and help with website development, all the way up to we take over businesses that are already existing out in the marketplace, with brands already existing out in the marketplace, where they want to do things more efficiently or faster or have more boots on the ground locally, or cheaper. We can be a cheaper alternative to, hiring a VP of sales, for example. So size is fairly irrelevant in terms of the client base that we would enjoy working with. Where it gets a little bit more unique is what then makes them successful. And the manufacturing partners, the brand partners that we have, our clients, the ones that are more willing to partner on the marketing side of things, the promotional and marketing side of things, everything from standard PR and influencers and things like that externally, but also working with the retailers within their own tools that they have to drive eyeballs and awareness and ultimately sales, are obviously going to have a better chance for success.
So what does that process look like, just in general, to find new clients to bring into retail accounts?
Well, I like to say we're never arrogant enough to pigeonhole where we find our clients. Yeah, obviously, just like in any sales organization, referrals are always the best. We work in a transient society in terms of where people work. They're always moving. And if you do a good job for somebody and that person moves to another company, odds are they're going to want to hire you again. So that's always the best. But, good old-fashioned, dialing for dollars is what we kind of like to call it. But it's going to trade shows. It's being part of all the industry magazines and industry updates within health and beauty and consumer electronics and food and drug. Just so you're aware of all the new technologies coming out, the new trends. And then what you do is you go find potential clients that currently aren't doing business with our customer base and honestly just reach out. And whether that be through a LinkedIn or through a website or a referral from a common connection, we'll do anything we can to get connected with the brands that we believe are going to be successful.
So for these brands specifically, like how has your business and just these relationships evolved over time as this shift to online happens? Because I feel like there's more opportunity overall, but now in some cases there's also less shelf space depending on the industry and other things like that. So just in general, how have things evolved?
Really, you can see how it's evolved and how mass retail has changed in terms of just the quantity of retailers, of brick and mortar retailers out in the world. There's, myriad examples of retailers closing. We are extremely lucky to be in a marketplace where we have very forward-thinking mass retailers in companies like Target and Best Buy that have always been ahead of the curve and staying ahead of things to ensure that they have a long-term runway in terms of business. Those two retailers, for example, have done a tremendous job in shifting to the online marketplace. So it wasn't a very long time ago where the amount of business being done online wasn't that great. And as that has shifted, the holy grail is no longer getting products into the brick and mortar stores. That can certainly increase business, but it also increases risk. So there are more opportunities for manufacturers outside of brick and mortar online. And when we work with companies like Best Buy and Target specifically, we also work directly for clients on Amazon too. But Best Buy and Target, they actually still curate their assortments. So rather than going into a category online and seeing 8 million products that you have to funnel through and choose from, you've got a curated assortment of the best at those retailers. So there's still a lot of opportunity, and along with the opportunity, because the consumer has shifted to a more of an online purchasing mentality, the sales are there as well.
Well, if somebody's listening to this right now and they're thinking, I've wanted to get my product on a shelf in the store. I've been pretty successful online, and I'm thinking about going to a store. Like, what are some of the things they should be considering as they? And obviously, I want them to follow up and connect with you and your team after, so they can have a real conversation. But just to get their mind going on this, like, what are some things they should be considering as a starting point?
That's a very good question. And really, the process is very complex, yet it's simple, right? We need to generate interest in their product with the decision maker. That's step one. There are different ways of doing that, obviously, and it's different between retailers on what the most effective way is. Generate interest is really step one. That can take time. So the first thing I would caution new inventors and manufacturers is you're dealing with 800-pound gorillas, and they have systems and structures and orgs in place that really help them limit risk. So what that means is it is a lot slower than everyone thinks. So the first thing I would talk about is generate interest. The second thing I would talk about is patience. Some of the retailers only review product assortments once a year in 1 month out of the year. So if we dismissed it, guess what? We got to wait till next year. So patience is key. And obviously, being flexible and working with each independent retailer on the utilization of the programs and processes they have, and the marketing and the promotions and things like that they have, the more flexible you can be, the better chance you're going to be successful. And finally, the one that nobody likes to talk about, that we always talk about, is end of life. No product lasts forever. So you have to, working with these mass retailers can be a daunting financial risk. So we need to protect manufacturers on the front side from that potential risk, because retailers are going to ask for everything they want. And it's up to us to protect the manufacturers and steer them into things that we know are going to be ROI positive. But at the end of life, when that product gets returned at the shelf, gets pulled from the shelf, gets sent back, there needs to be an awareness and an anti-risk mentality up front to know that that's coming. No product lasts forever. So let's plan for it up front.
So where do you see your business going based on some of these industry changes that you brought up here?
Sure. Obviously, things are shifting more and more to online. So what has changed is the way we focus on the manufacturers that we are looking for. Originally, if there wasn't a shot of getting a product in a store, well, then it wasn't that interesting to us. Well, that's no longer the case. It opens up a lot of categories. We could be essentially category agnostic, whether it be for Amazon, Best Buy, or Target, because they're all managed essentially the same. There's some idiosyncrasies, but what we need to do is connect with people that have unique products that are going to bring incremental business to the marketplace, whether that be online or in store, and do the best job we can to put them in the best position to succeed. So we need to do things like content creation, content management, promotional planning, in a much more precise and aggressive way, in order to, again, I keep saying this, put that manufacturer in the best position to succeed. We can't make a customer buy it at a store or online, but what we can do is put it in the best position possible.
It's awesome. So, Michael, first off, it has been great having you on the show today to learn more from you and your insights and what you're doing, helping your clients get products onto retail shelves. Still a big deal, and still great partnerships there. That being said, if somebody is listening to this and they want more information about WolfPoint Group or to connect with you and your team, what's the best way for them to reach out?
The best way is probably to go to our website, WolfPointGroup.com. All very basic spelling there, no funny letters in there or anything. And you can kind of see what we do. You can see an overview of the team and some of the brands and manufacturers that we currently represent. Or you can certainly follow us on all the relevant social media platforms. You can search us on Facebook, LinkedIn under WolfPoint, and our Twitter handle is WolfPointTweet.
Fantastic. Well, Michael, appreciate you coming on the show today. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We definitely want you to come back and be a return listener and a return viewer. And Michael, thanks again for coming on the show. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.